Hey y'all. So we're back at it again. I don't know if you guys know about this story, but there was a young soldier that was murdered back in 2020. Young lady, and her body was dismembered. It was really tragic and just a heinous crime. Trump had invited her family to the White House when it happened. He offered to pay for the funeral if they couldn't cover all the costs. The military ended up paying for it, but anyway, there's a guy named Jeffrey Goldberg from The Atlantic, I think it is. And he's putting out a statement right now, or putting out a story right now that Trump had called. It basically says some racist, nasty things about her family, saying that they were, effing Mexicans, and he doesn't want to pay for the funeral. All this kind of just a bunch of slander, the typical, Trump did this, Trump did that type stuff. The family, meanwhile, has got on and vehemently denied this. The sister tweeted out. The sister of the slain girl had tweeted out that she's disgusted that they would use, her sister's death for political purposes. And not only that, but just dragging them back through this again 4 years later. I mean, their family member was like murdered brutally, and now they're being dragged back through it 4 years later is just freaking disgusting. Like, can we stop already? So the sister, said that he never said any of those kind of things. He treated them with utmost respect, and he was very kind to them. Of course, now there's one anonymous source saying that Trump said these things. I don't know if you guys know anything about journalism, but if your source is just one person that's anonymous, not exactly the most solid ground to stand on as far as journalism goes. I know that's pretty frowned upon in the media, circles to do a story like that. Everybody that was in the room that day said Trump was nothing but kind to them and polite to them, that he never said anything disparaging like that about them. It just goes on and on. I want you to real quick watch this video. This is the sister and her attorney hanging out with Laura Trump from Fox. Laura Trump. Hanging out with Laura Ingraham from Fox News, telling their side of the story, basically backing up everything I just said, that they don't feel that way. Come to find out, she actually went and voted for Trump even after this. So I'm going to play that for you real quick, and then we'll see what they have to say.
Joining me now is Vanessa Guillen's sister, Myra Guillen, and her attorney, Natalie Kawam. Now, Myra, thank you for being here tonight to tell your side of the story. When you read this piece by Mr. Goldberg, what was your reaction?
Hi, Laura. Thank you so much for having us. And initially, the first time around, I came with my own eyes to see the comments that that reporter was vile enough to put in that paper. It was just hurtful in all kinds of ways. It brought back so many bad memories that we had given up already after 4 long years, and it was just a slap in the face to my family, myself mainly, being the main spokesperson for them and for my sister who unfortunately passed away. It was just a lie from the very beginning, and it was very upsetting.
Well, you lost your sister. I know how close you were. I mean, America watching this tonight is weeping years later for you, having to go through this again. And your lawyer's sitting next to you, Natalie. You say that The Atlantic first reached out to you in January, your client in January about this story. What was the intent here, you think?
Well, Laura, he first reached out to me, and he said he was interested in doing a the 4-year anniversary of Vanessa's murder, a story into that. And I texted Myra and I said, hey, can you take it from here? You want to speak to him about Vanessa's case? They're going to discuss more issues about the case, things he found. And she spoke to him in January. He reached out again to me just recently, and this is where the story popped up, and obviously bamboozled with. It wasn't really about talking about Vanessa here. It was just about a gotcha with Trump.
And Myra, do you believe you were misled by Mr. Goldberg in the way he approached you for this story?
Most definitely. Initially, when we first spoke, he did mention that this was going to be, again, a wrap-up of the 4-year anniversary and how we passed legislation and all the achievements that were done in Vanessa's honor. And when I came across never, not once mentioned any of the comments that he was going to put in this article or how it was going to be published this late in the year. He said it was going to be around April, and I never saw the article. I didn't follow up, and it was surprising enough to see how he reached out to Natalie shortly about, 2 days ago, just wanting to confirm what was said, and I released a statement to him letting him know that I was not happy about what he was going to release, and I did not wish to be a part of it anymore or have my sister's name be a part of that article. And he still proceeded to not only publish it, but basically stain my sister's image with this, and it's very upsetting.
Well, we reached out for a statement from The Atlantic, and basically they're just saying we stand by our reporting. They called it essential reporting. Myra, I understand that despite all these horrific and unsubstantiated allegations with one anonymous witness, given everything you know about President Trump and his compassion for Americans and our soldiers, I understand you made a decision about for whom you were going to vote and perhaps already voted?
That is correct. I would usually not ever speak about what my political influence was or what I thought about politics, because I worked with both parties initially when I wanted to get the bill across, not only to honor my sister, but for the benefit of the country and our military members. Now it's like I was pushed to do so, and I'm glad that I'm now speaking on it, because I didn't want to be in the shadows anymore or simply just see how they take advantage of the situation in order to make this an election thing. My sister's name was never to be used or stained in this direction, and that's what they did. So all I'm going to do now is defend her name and myself and my political views, and this is where I stand.
And would you mind sharing for whom you're voting?
Yes, I initially stated in my tweet that I did vote for former President Trump, and that's pretty much what I believe in now, and I will continue to do so. The last 4 years have been full of disappointments. I don't really want to go into details about how, but...
Well, given everything you and your family have been through, the most horrific news a family can get, the fact that this was done to you and continues to be done to you, Natalie, I think we know why this was done, but it's certainly not out of concern for the family of a murdered, dismembered Army veteran. It wasn't done for that reason. Natalie.
That's correct. Laura, one of the things is, too, just laying down the groundwork here, when President Trump invited us to the Oval Office, he was gracious with his family. He didn't have to do that. There was many people out there, missing from Fort Hood that died at Fort Hood, but he opened his doors up to this Mexican-American family. And he was gracious to them, and he gave them a lot of time. And when President Biden came into office, he did not invite this family. I'm not going to go into details, but we didn't have the same courtesy, the same respect, the same support that we saw with President Trump in the White House. And I know, and everyone knows, that President Trump is very supportive of our military. So this piece, I can't even call it a story, this piece, leave it there, was full of lies. I myself spoke to him, and I told him certain things. For a matter of fact, I said I could not speak about the issue, about these things and about these things. And then he says, Natalie Quam said this. And that was not true. I mean, that's what really bothers me. I've worked with both sides of the aisle, with producers and reporters and the media for years, both sides of the aisle. I've never had to deal with somebody that just went that low, below the belt, just to get a story out. And it was, quite honestly, it was wrong, and it was unethical, and I had to take on that position of I'm going to call him out. And I appreciate honest reporting, and this is honest reporting, when you can put us on the record, when you can have us talk, and you don't have to say things that we didn't say. So thank you, Laura, for doing a good, honest piece here.
All right. So as you see, they deny any of that garbage that they're saying Trump has done. This guy's gone on multiple news stations, ABC, all the usual typical Democrat talking point news stations, and he keeps pushing this story that Trump did this. At what point do we stop with all this kind of stuff. At what point do we say, hey, let's just talk about policies? What are you going to do, or what are you not going to do to make our country better or worse? The same with Kamala, hell, even Biden. I mean, let's just talk policies. Can we stop with the crap already? Oh, Trump, he wants his generals to be Hitler. Oh, Trump touched a booty in 1982. Oh, Trump ran over a squirrel in 1993. Trump ate my last French fry. Shut up already. Can we just talk policy? I mean, at this point, with what the Democrats have done to our country, I don't care if Trump walked around slapping babies. I really don't care at this point. As long as it wasn't my baby, I don't care at this point. I need somebody in the White House that's going to take charge of this country and put it back on track where it was before. These stories, I really think, are driving more people to vote Democrat than they are. I don't think they're having the same effect that these imbeciles think it's going to have. I think they're actually driving people away and into the arms of the Republican Party and Trump. People are sick of the crap. They're just sick of the he said, she said, just spouting off at the mouth. They're tired of it. They're just tired of it. We want our prices back to normal. We want our crime back to normal. We want our border back to normal. We don't care about all these stupid stories of Trump being Hitler or Trump being a dictator. Let me ask you this one final question. If Trump was going to be a dictator or going to be Hitler or do all these terrible things, turn our government against us to, attack our own people and jail his opponents and all this kind of, why didn't he do that back the first time he was in office? Why didn't he had people chanting, lock her up about Hillary Clinton. Why did he not lock her up then? If he was going to do all these terrible things, why didn't he do it back then? What was he playing the long game? Like the insane long game? He doesn't know that he's going to get reelected, and he didn't know if he'd ever get reelected back in 2016. So why not do all these heinous things his first time in office? Why risk, why if you're going to be a woman beater and abuse your spouse, you're going to do it the first marriage. You're not going to wait 3 marriages later. By then everybody knows you're a woman beater. So why would he have waited to his second term, not even knowing if he was going to get a second term? By the way, I don't condone beating women. Never hit a woman in my life. Have no plans on. But why would he wait? That probably wasn't the best example to use, right? Why would he wait until his second term? That is the question I need a Democrat to answer for me. Every single thing on your giant laundry list of stuff that Trump's going to do, why did he wait? Why not do it the first term? You're already in office. You're there. You got the power. Go ahead and do it. Same can be said with Kamala. She's going to fix this. She's going to fix that. Well, fix it now. You're in office right now. Fix it. Pull that lever. Start fixing stuff. Start making decisions. Make things happen. You're there right now. Honestly, if you're so capable of fixing all the things you say you're going to fix, doing it right now would probably get you a lot of votes. If people would be like, wow, she's actually doing what she said already, and she's not even the president, she's just the vice president. Look at that. I'd vote for your ass. If you were going to fix all the things you said you were going to fix, I would vote for you in a heartbeat if you did it right this very second. Have at it, Kamala. You're going to fix everything, fix it. Exactly. The same thing with Trump. If he was going to do all the things you said, he would have done it a long time ago when he was in office. Can we cut the crap already and get back to a fair election? I know that's weird for you Democrats, but can we get back to a fair election? Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Let me know what do you think is the craziest hoax story that they're putting out about Trump? Grabbing booties or praising Hitler generals or calling slain soldiers an effing Mexican or whatever. All these BS stories they're putting out about him. Which one do you think is the craziest one of all? I'm personally leaning towards the Hitler generals one. I haven't done a video on that yet. That might be the craziest one right now, but there's been so many I could have forgotten about a lot of them. So let me know in the comments, which do you think is the craziest hoax of all the hoaxes they're doing right now? You can even go as far back as Russiagate, in 2016 and all this other crap. Let me know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the little bells and the thumbs ups and all that good stuff like that. See you guys around. I got more coming.